Welcome back to Salos Wildlife Park. Today we have a lot of ground to cover. We're building technically the first two habitats, all in one episode. Hi, hello, and hey to all of you watching. Last week I promised we'd be going through the first habitat in this park. It's a mixed Great Plains inspired enclosure for the greater Rhea, llama, and some alpacas. However, we've already started in a weird place. I filmed this about 2 weeks ago, and I could have sworn I filmed, if not the entire build, then the vast majority of it. But neither my PC nor my external hard drive had the footage. So today it's a bit of a combo, a bonus edition if you will. But excuses out of the way, I think I probably wasn't on top of my recording game with this because I just wasn't sure about it at any point throughout the entire build. Here I am just going through my blueprints trying to get ideas for the backstage, which is pretty much always one of my first steps. And I'm still not 100% about the result. I might go back and change it, but once I got to the landscaping and everything, I had a lot of fun, and I had completely fallen in love with the residents, the llamas and alpacas. I wasn't really excited for them, I was more looking forward to the Rhea, but they're just so adorable, and I think their personalities are just wonderful, and Planet Zoo did an amazing job with them. I had no idea they were that adorable and just fantastic. There is a shot in the end cinematics of someone just basically being the diva that they are, but I'll let them speak for themselves. But the first thing I wanted to do once I kind of had the area mapped out and just wanted to get started was dealing with their enrichment, because there's a lot of individuals living in this habitat, so I wanted to make sure I had the room and everything suitable for them and that they were happy before I got to the real decorating. But here I just can't resist. I see an area that needs buffalo grass, and down the buffalo grass goes. But yeah, so the episode is a two-parter. I wanted... you'll see, it's a bit of a surprise. It's not a full habitat, but I just wanted some ambient species, and this is probably the only scenario where I would download mods. But yeah, this is the kind of plains barren habitat, if you can believe it, even though I'm making it super lush because I can't resist. And also I kind of had it in my head that all of these lovely residents would want all of the vegetation to eat, so it makes sense that we're spoiling them with all the bushes, all the grasses that we can, even though I know realistically they would not last a single day, but you know, it's nice. I think I achieved the look that I wanted, at the very least with the vegetation. As I said in the previous two episodes, I'm not really paying a whole lot of attention towards how accurate these things are. I have put in the North America filter, which is about all I do normally. Playing in Sandbox, I fully abuse those settings, and being able to make things look how I want them to. And I find these large open habitats quite difficult, because naturally I just want to plop down all of these little scenes and bushes and things to make it seem fuller, but that just isn't realistic. But I don't know, it's very difficult to make just kind of plain terrain look good in Planet Zoo. Maybe for the second game we will see if they improve those tools. So last week we built that centerpiece fountain that welcomes the guests into the park. And you can see I did a bit of terraforming on the right side, which I was dreading because I hate dealing with elevation of any kind. I find it very difficult to make it look good, but we're here for the challenges. And what I did at the end was actually just create like a small kind of watering fountain off the back of that water feature. So I think I did alright with the given circumstances and working with it. It does create a nice frame for the habitat from where the guests can view it as well. so just giving it more of like a firm barrier and an entrance kind of viewing gallery. So yeah, pretty good progress so far. That will be the second habitat, that little bit of water. But we still got a bit of work to do here. The backstage I was quite happy with. It's fairly spacious, and I think the building looks alright. Again, just kind of a rectangle with an angular roof, but the backstage, that entrance area, that is not functional at all. I put a bunch of crates down and stuff, and I really made it look lived in, which was fun, and it's honestly one of my favorite corners in the park. So I did get a new mic. I found a cheap one that was pretty good. I hope so, at least. Just like $30 or something. But it's cute, it does the job, and not as many pops. So all good on that front. Hopefully I'll sound a bit better for you guys. Again, thank you for watching. This habitat, like I said, I did a few weeks ago, and the park has come such a long way, so I'm really excited. I now have a lot more time to edit and catch you guys up on what I've been doing. I think I've just finished the 5th habitat, which is crazy to think about. But next week will be the transport hub. I really like to just have all my guest needs just taken care of, so I wanted to do like a combination restaurant and transport hub, because I know I want the monorail throughout the park, and those can be really difficult to implement if you don't plan ahead. So yeah, that was probably a good 4 or 5 days of work. But back to this build, I just love these trees. I just love plopping them down. They add so much interest. And I don't know, it was quite difficult for me to get into this park with all that blank space in the back, but I did try. I wanted that bit of water to come out from the centerpiece fountain and flow throughout the rest of the park. And I think I've managed that. I guess we'll see. But it's one of my favorite separation techniques that I've done, because I don't want my guests to be right up next to the barriers, even though like these animals are quite friendly. It's just not realistic, and just thinking about it makes me anxious. I know Planet Zoo guests are very well behaved, aside from the ones that pickpocket and vandalize, but just no risks here. Again, I'm just going through the arrangement, making it as pretty as possible, and I did add guards to the trees within the habitat, because I figured all of the animals involved would be very keen to rub up against them, maybe eat the bark, just be destructive in any way they could. So speaking of workshop items, quite a lot used here. I don't know where I'd be without them, but I am setting more goals for myself to be a bit more creative, and the elements that I use, because if I create them for myself, I can reuse them. So I guess we'll see how that goes. I have created a bunch of custom billboards, and I've done them for other people as well. I'll leave my socials in the description, so if you're interested, please shoot me a message, because I have a lot of time and Canva Premium, and just I find it very fun. So yeah, let me know. I've done a bunch of kind of like banners, branding for the park, as well as animal info signs, which you'll see at the end cinematics as well. So we're actually at the last bit of this habitat, this last bit of footage, and again, sorry for leaving so much of it out, but I hope this means that we catch up quicker to where I'm actually at with the park. And maybe I'll do a revamp of this habitat, because, like I said, I'm just not happy with it. Even though the landscaping is quite lovely. The backstage, it's okay. I think I could have added a few more details, but aside from that, it is functional and fairly cute and roomy. Right, so finally moving on to the second habitat. As you can see, I've actually opened up the zoo and let people in, which was monumental, because this was about 3 weeks of work on the various beginning areas of the zoo. And I really just wanted ducks in the zoo. They're one of my favorite animals in general. And while I love the swans, and I did end up grabbing 2 and plopping them down here, I really wanted the mallards as well. So Monsoon over on Nexus created some lovely mods, and like I said in the first episode, those will probably be very limited in this project, just to make it as accessible as it possibly can be, and to chill out my PC. Just today it wouldn't load this project and I had a heart attack. But anyway, so yes, this is an ambient habitat with null barriers for the mallards and the meat swans, and it's really lovely. There's a bunch of paths through it. I tried to make it look as lush and overgrown as possible, and I've dotted around these little logs with like bedding inside of them and little bowls and things, so they are taken care of by the park staff. I actually hid the habitat barrier really well too. I just put it in a really thick bush, which is such like an amateur thing, but I always struggle with that. So rock work down, almost done with the rocks. I always do this with the waterways and anything, make them look as rocky as possible. I also thought it was easier for like maybe the animals to get in and out of, but this little pond here, it does end up being still probably my favorite area in the park. I think I just nailed the vegetation and the look that I wanted. I think it's really nice to have this big plaza, and then the first thing you get to do is this relaxing little pathway through a little marshy pond area with some waterfowl. Very lovely, ideal day out for me, really. And next week I do actually expand this quite a bit, because I liked it so much and wasn't sure what else to do. So yeah, keep doing what you're good at. So we're coming to the last bit of footage for this video. Apologies again. I do have a part of the reason I struggle with storage is because I have filmed so much since I started this. So in theory, every single video from here on out will just be the one build, maybe a bit of an extra, and a full project by the end of it all. So thank you so much for watching. I was terribly ill last week, so thank you for the well wishes if you sent them. And yeah, give me a follow on Instagram if you're interested in seeing the builds in a more, I guess, up-to-date version. And if you're from Discord, thank you so much for watching. If you're here in general, thank you so much for watching. And see you guys.